And now for the $1 billion question on your mind: is it working? How do we know that we can trust this type of investment, and what it can do financially for you and your family and your friends? A, there's a world class back office and daily investment updates of your investment. And so if you just take a look at what I've got here on the screen, on the far left side, you've got personal details with your profile, personal referrals if you choose to have any personal referrals, your investment statements, and payment history. Next little square at the top of the page is my total active investment as it stood at the time I took that snapshot, which was 2,588, and which is now closer to $3,000. And then in the middle of the page is what you can access at any time at all on a daily basis, and to see how your investment is doing. So I'll just take you through it. So you start at the bottom, and you see all the way to the right, you see $45.97 made as a interest on that day. That took the investment up to 2,298 for November 11th, 2017. On the next day, it compounded, the interest compounded by 2%, and therefore that 45.97 became 46.89. 46.89, taking the investment from 2.2 to 2.344 on November 12th. The next day, the $46 becomes 47.83, taking the investment to 2.391, and so on until it gets to 2.5, 2.9, 3.9, and so on and so forth. And so if I just grab a calculator, just so that we can go through this together. If you imagine, and if you forget that it's compounding at 2% every day for that week before the payment, if you just take that 45.97, and I'll put it here in my calculator, 45.97, and if you just think that if you earn that on a daily basis times 7 for a week, you will have earned for that week $321. For that month times 4, you would have earned $1,287 for that month. If you convert that to South African rands times 14, that is 18,000 rand for that month, if you only took a daily return of $45.97. Of course, that $45 becomes 46, it becomes 47, it becomes 48. By the end of that week, you will be earning way more than what it would have been because of the compounding, and that's the whole point. 18,000 rand for people living here in this country as additional income to whatever else you're doing is huge. But in terms of even just a vehicle, if people are into cars, or let's take a bike. If you had I'm a biker. If you had 18,000 rand additional, I looked at last year buying potentially a Ducati Enduro, which is an adventure bike from Ducati, and that would have cost me about between 6,000 and 7,000 rand per month to own, well, you're still paying the bank, but to have parked in your garage and available for you every day to go anywhere, not just in South Africa, but on this continent, Ducati Enduro for between 6,000 and 7,000 rand per month. That's the top of the range adventure bike for Ducati. And we're talking here about 18,000 additional. So 1/3 of that would have been only for the bike, and you'd still be left with a huge amount of money for just $45 a day. So already at these levels, your life would be completely different. But that $45 will soon become $90, will soon become $150, will soon become $300. And when I say soon, I mean in a period of a few months. I expect that by March or April, that $45 through compounding would have become $400. And if you just try, let's just be conservative and say $300 per day times 7. That's $2,100 per week times 4. That's $8,400 per month times 14 to convert to rands. That is 117,600 rand for that month. And it keeps growing. And we're talking about a few months, couple to a few months, depending on the size of your initial investment. So and you can track it. So this is the beauty of it. It's automated. As you can see, the times at 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., the system updates your new investment level. Okay, I'm going to fly through the rest. We get a weekly newsletter. If you just take a look at this newsletter, you can see on the top left that at the time of this release, there were 2,578 investors just here in South Africa, and those had invested about $8.4 million. It's closer to 10 million now. And if you can see at the little snapshot in the center, the number of new investors per day, and you can see from on the 19th there were 102 investors, on the 21st there were 70 investors, on the 23rd there were 58 investors, on the 25th there were 114. That's hundreds and hundreds of new investors every week. And so even if the traders have 1 or 2 bad days trading, with hundreds of people entering this opportunity on every single week, and growing all the time, then you can see that the opportunity is there, not only for your investment to be secured for some time, but also for referrals. Imagine the people who are referring dozens of people, what kind of money that they're unlocking. And you don't have to refer, I stress that. And so here you've got on a single day on November 6th, 197 Bitcoins were paid out. And this is where it began to make sense to me that my friends were getting paid multiple Bitcoins on a single day. And I couldn't understand how is that possible, knowing the price of a Bitcoin. And now you can see here that there are hundreds of Bitcoins that are being paid to these investors. Let's move on. Point C is that there are mobile admin updates that you have access to. Sorry for the noise. There are mobile admin updates that you have access to. Some are just support notice that says, well, listen, this is what's going on, and others are of people that are unlocking new levels. You can see on the second little snapshot, it says that Mr. Johan unlocked level 1. Beneath him, Miss Tersha unlocked level 2. On the next one, it says Miss Amanda unlocked level 3. And this is through referring other people, which you do not have to do, but there is a huge amount of potential. The person who originally showed me this opportunity showed me his referral bonus for that month, only from the referrals, and it was $167,000 for that month. And so there's no limit to the kind of money that can be made here. Is it still too good to be true? Is this a risky or is this a safe investment? And so let's unpack it with one last slide. These are projections that are made available to us on the website. But since then, people like my sister who've become involved and her husband have made their own slides with their own projections to see how much money that they want to invest, how much money percentage they want to reinvest, when do they want to start making withdrawals, and so on and so forth. And so here, if you just invested conservatively the minimum of $1,000 with a 14% weekly reinvested at 100% of that, it would take you 7 weeks to have doubled that investment. 7 weeks to go from $1,000 to $2,194. You could actually pull out your capital if you wanted to say, well, my money is now safe, let me pull that out, and you would still have $1,194 now compounding and working for you, which is amazing. 7 weeks. So this is your risk exposure. Your money is exposed to risk for only less than 2 months. And if you see that it keeps going, if you just keep doing that, very soon you're making a huge amount of money. And we're talking about per week. So that $4,000 would be paid out to you in Bitcoins on that week. $4,000 times 14. Let me just give you an idea here. $4,000 times 14 for rands. That would be 56,000 rand for the week of week 12. And so it's unbelievable. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That's a quote by Lao Tzu. So it doesn't matter whether what you're looking for is $40 per day compounding, and that would be enough, and you can make your withdrawals every week. Or if you're looking for $400 a day, or if you're looking for $4,000 a week, it doesn't matter that amount. It can be achieved both through the amount of money that you invest, and even at $1,000, as you've seen, you can be starting to make huge money within some weeks. And also, if you choose to refer this opportunity, and if you choose to reinvest, and how much you choose to reinvest and for how long. getting started. I'll make this another video altogether so that everything is nice and separate.